Ah, seeing you tied up like this reminds me of my first wife. Oh, hell, I miss her. Sorry, not trying to make things awkward. It's just that time of the year, you know. Love is in the air, and what a powerful emotion love is. True love is something one would kill for. Which reminds me of a tale of desire and infatuation. Let us take a gander at another piece from my collection. Enter the Gallery of Terrors. This piece is called Bleeding Love. Now, this may seem like an ordinary Valentine's card to you, but I implore you to look past the bloodstains and look at the craftsmanship of this handmade profession of love. Perhaps once you know the story and see the lengths a person will go to in the pursuit of love, you will be moved to shed a tear for this ill-fated tale of lovers. Our story begins with a young and beautiful woman named Mary. She was a very career-oriented woman, so focused on her work that she had no time to consider a love life. She wasn't even aware that Valentine's Day was fast approaching. However, that didn't mean someone didn't have their eyes on her. It was the 13th of February. Mary was on her way to work. Punctual as always, she was at her car 30 minutes before her shift. But on this fateful date, something was different. There was a note under her windscreen wiper. Not just a note, but a Valentine's card. Drawn upon the handmade card was a cute cupcake adorned with a heart on its wrapper. Inside the card, there was a message that read, "I could just eat you up." Mary looked around but saw no one in the parking lot. She then got in her car and drove to work. But she was in such a rush that she mustn't have noticed that she dropped the note on the ground. Mary proceeded with her day as if it were any other, which for Mary meant staying late yet again. She was so driven. Surely that promotion was coming any day now. She was so focused on her job that she hadn't even noticed that she lost her love letter. I'm sure once she does, she will be absolutely devastated. Like I had mentioned already, Mary had been putting in overtime for the past month. While everyone else left the building around 6 p.m., Mary would stay until 8 or sometimes even 9 p.m. But after a long and exhausting day, it was finally time for her to go home. The parking lot was dark and quiet. The sun goes down so early this time of year, but knowing what time she normally leaves, she makes sure to park close to the door. She was nearly at her car when she heard a voice from behind her.
"Excuse me, you dropped this."
Mary turned around in shock. No one was ever here this late, and what could she have possibly dropped? Surely she would have heard it through the silence of the night. As her eyes adjusted to make clear the man in the dark, she saw what he held out in front of her was the Valentine's card from the morning.
"Do I know you?"
"No, but you will."
I'm sorry, I have to go."
"Wait, I know everything about you. I know that you stop every morning to grab a dirty chai latte with almond milk before going into work. I know that you collect pig plushies. You have 27 right now."
But the man's wealth of knowledge must have been overwhelming, because Mary quickly bolted for her car. She scrambled to find her keys in her purse, but before she was able to get in, her admirer slammed his hand against the door.
"You can't leave. I've been planning this day for so long. I wanted it to be perfect. I know I don't look like much, but I see how lonely you are. You've been working so hard that you've pushed everyone around you away. But I can be there for you. You deserve to be loved.
Unable to grasp the copious amounts of love her admirer was showing, Mary tried to get in her car to leave, but her admirer still had so much to say. He grabbed her and pleaded that she just hear him out. But as love often goes, the harder he tried to hold on, the harder she pulled away. Until finally, in a moment of rush and adrenaline, Mary shoved her car key deep into his neck. The admirer fell to the ground, with blood pouring from his neck. With his last breath, he looked her in the eyes and said,
I loved you.
Such a terrible story of two lovers who could never be. But that's the way love goes. There seems to always be a time when one's heart stops. How cruel love often is. Oh, you simply must stop staring at me like that. Or are you hitting on me? I've never been great at picking up signals. Shall we get naughty then?
The voice of Mary for this episode was provided by Joss Cambridge. Check them out on Fiverr. Art for this episode was provided by Vesper Tennyson. Check them out on Twitter and Instagram at possumguts_. Follow Gallery of Terrors on Instagram. New episodes out every Monday on YouTube and Spotify. See you soon.